You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna find that in honor of Legend, sort of. This is sort of tangential a little bit, but in honor of Legend doing their drop yesterday, and I got the word this morning that that it went good, which is awesome. They did the James Jeans launch. They, of course, sold out, which kind of surprises no one. Yeah, I'm gonna find. Here it is. Sorry, guys. Oh man, hey. This is why headphones are so good. My YouTube started playing, and this is where we ordinarily start busting your balls, but it was me. But I had some stuff, so that's good.
Yeah, I gotta get that fixed. So yeah, the James Jean thing.
I need to drink a lot more coffee. Derp.
The James Jean thing was fun. I was on my smartphone today, and I was kind of at school, and my school starts at 9 o'clock. Hopefully, none of my students are watching this. Luckily, they don't know about this channel. But I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be 2 minutes late, and I'm gonna try to fill it out, like, you know, on my smartphone. It's really hard to fill out your credit card information quickly on your smartphone, which meant that I didn't make the drop.
See, this is what they got to do, the pre-register thing, right?
Well, here's the thing, right? So, but I got a different one, you know, but not everyone can do that. But they were gone really fast, and so like a bunch of people came into the chat in Uplift Art today, and I was in there, and they were asking questions. And MBlue just confirmed this. MBlue said that even if you bought one, you couldn't buy another one with that credit card again. It wouldn't let you with your account. So the people who have more than one in their account, they must have bought them on the secondary market, right?
Huh. That's good to know. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like that's where I had to get mine. I wasn't happy about it, but I wasn't too upset about it. I mean, it was a little bit expensive, like much more than $8, but like it was still reasonable, right?
Right.
And so yeah, that's kind of interesting. So just keep that out. And if you go to the Legend website, like I don't know if you've been there in a while, but it's completely changed. And go look, because there's like a lot of stuff coming out. There's another drop coming on the 20th. There's another drop coming on the 25th, I believe. And there's lots of artists starting to pile in. And the final thing I wanted to say is during the test drop, my credit card didn't work. I tried it 3 times. It didn't work. I couldn't get my thing. I got, you know, kind of rooked out of it, the one, and I got sent the, you know, the backup one that everyone got.
Yeah.
This time it worked. So whatever the problem was before, they solved it, right? I'm telling you that like I was one of the ones that didn't work, and now it works. So I'm not really sure what they did or how they fixed it, but it worked this time. So it's really good that we did that drop the way that we did, and everything seems to be ironed out. So that's really cool.
All right. So, but yeah, that's awesome. I knew they'd get it together because you know they're building it on the fly, but with like, you know, whatever. So that's cool. Watching all the artists pile in though, I was talking to Blue about it. He's like they're getting flooded now, which is real fun. I sort of feel like maybe I'm gonna have to start hanging out on Instagram because I think that's where all these guys are, which makes sense because like, you know, artists, it might be more of a thing. Anyway, so I wanted to just listen to some tunes first thing in the morning because it's Monday, and it also will give me 3 minutes to drink more coffee, which I have not had anywhere near enough. So rock and roll.
The silence when the sun comes up. It's power. Where we go one, we go all. 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 Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go one, we go all. Together we cannot fall. It's a silence when the sun comes up. Family we are building. Community and the tribe. Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go, we go. Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go home. Together we cannot fall. Silence for the sun. This is power. Silence when the sun comes. This power. Family, we are building. The community and the tribe. We sing the power. We are the time. We are the tide. We are the tide. The tide is rising. It's rising. It's rising. It's rising. Oh, together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Together we cannot fall. Where we go, we go home.
I don't hate that song at all.
My question is, how many times were you humming that tune in your head this morning when you actually did fall, literally on a tide?
Oh, none. I should have. And that's the thing. Like, together we cannot fall, but by myself I can fall a lot. Yeah. Hey, Tech Geek, I actually have a desk that goes both ways.
Wow.
You're all thinking it. Anyway, yeah. So I actually had to do that because sitting was destroying my back. I actually had like a compression thing, and there was like a bubble coming out of my disc. It was all a big, huge pain in the ass. So I like couldn't sit for a long time. Stand up thing. What's that? What's that?
You're kind of cutting out a little bit, and
I hope my internet. I know.
Sometimes in opportune times, like I mean, disc could have potentially sounded like something very different.
Yeah. Hey, these uplift shirts. You can find Blockchain on Twitter or on the Telegram. He's got like an Etsy page for these, and like I don't have my coffee mug this morning, but he's got a cool ass coffee mug. I'm hoping he makes a new one really soon. I'm basically gonna buy whatever he puts out. He should put more shit out. But he also did this. So I'm all tricked out this morning. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the uplift vibe this morning.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good to feel. Last week, we had the chicken caw release. I learned a lot of heartfelt lessons. I'm not really sure, like both in a way. I had like the whole Northern Rail. Like I thought like one side locked down and bunch of people came in and like outbid me at the last minute. And I was like, that sucks. But I was okay with it. And then I was like, you know what? It's part of the game. And so I outbid someone else. I'm really sorry about that, but I had to do it.
So I decided to do something over the weekend. You know that Keza Jiao account that's kind of like my workhorse account? We've been giving away NFTs from Uplift Art and from Metaforce and from the Uplift and right. That's sort of where I give them away from. In the course of my travels, like that's where I like that was kind of my main account for a while, and I decided to like basically it's mining 17.4 thousand Aether an hour. So I decided to just give everything away that makes forever. So what I was thinking about doing is like over the last like 24 hours, it's made actually probably a little bit longer than that. It's made a bunch. So I was gonna like just go. I'll just show you guys the whole thing. I'll just grab the almost 400,000 Aether that are there. What I was thinking about doing, Jimmy, is like buying an NFT. Like you guys tell me what to buy. Preferably Aether staking, but we might not have money for that. But you guys tell me what to buy. I'll buy it and give it away. Unless we can think of a better idea for it. Like basically, like I'm going to give this away. And it's just like, this is just me. This is not the show or whatever. Like, and I want to find some cool things to do with it, right? So like whatever we do today is not necessarily what we're going to do tomorrow because I reserve the right to have a better idea. You know what I mean? But yeah, like I really want to start, just giving back more consistently just because I've been, kind of exceptionally lucky and it doesn't seem like it's going away. So really just seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I like it. I like the fact that like you're going to do something different every time.
Yeah, because there might be a charity, there might be this or whatever, right? Like the simplest thing is just to like, give back to this community in some kind of fun way and like ask you guys what we should, what we should buy, right? Because that like I kind of want to get into other projects and stuff as well, right? So like that might be kind of a fun little thing.
I mean, Curtis is rocking the comments. There's tons here that I love. I'm going to start saying that. I reserve the right to have a better idea. I agree, but I'd rather, put this one up on the screen personally.
If he made them, I'd be wearing them.
But yeah, I think this is the thing, right? Like we're in the business of surprise. I mean, 20% dump in a day isn't really a surprise anymore, right? A 20% dump in a day isn't really a surprise anymore. I mean, like I had a big surprise today. I was really surprised today because somebody asked me about Elon Musk and what I thought about him, saying what he said about Bitcoin. And I was like, I kind of don't want to say this. I don't want to say that like he's playing the market, he's playing the game and he just wants to buy more. And I was totally wrong because apparently it kind of seems like he really doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to cryptocurrency, which is a little bit sad.
It's amazing, right? And this is the thing, like I think you can really have compartmentalization. Like he's literally just playing around in a space that's really important to us, right?
Yeah.
And so, now that said, like he's also super smart. So like the likelihood that he knows this is like, how much can I get away with?
Yeah. Censored by Elon.
Market shit, right? At the same time, he's he's messing around with sorry guys, I don't know why my connection's being such a wiener hole this morning. That's right, I said wiener hole. He's like messing around with Doge and stuff. So for me, like he might be testing the limits of what the market can handle, right? Like if Elon is as smart as I think he is, and he literally decided to get into a rocket company and then became an engineer and is the actual head engineer at SpaceX. So the guy's fucking smart.
Yeah.
Like that's just, you know what I mean? Like whatever he decides to put his brain on is going to get figured out, right? With his team as well. So yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know either. But I just think I'm surprised, right? And that's kind of my point. Like I think that's the thing, right? Like we've been saying for years, what the hell are you guys still using Ethereum for? Why are you still paying those gas fees when we've got like, cheap stuff over here? But the majority of people, they want to do more expensive stuff. So, I mean, who can blame them? It doesn't really make sense, but right now he's not wrong. I mean, right now, Dogecoin uses less energy. And I mean, if you've got billions or trillions of dollars, inflationary money doesn't really mean anything to you. Like, it's like,
yeah.
So like, those things,
seriously, like, I think Gary's right. I think he's buying more Bitcoin.
I do too, but like,
and I think he gives zero fucks. Like that's where I'm at. That's just right though. Even geniuses have weak spots. Like remember Ben Carson? The guy was like an actual neurosurgeon. Other than that, he was a fucking idiot. Like just a really, really stupid person who thought that the pyramids were grain silos, right? Not a smart person, except like in his lane, very capable, right? So that compartmentalization is true. I wanted to get to Gary's idea because talk about layering down, right? So build elements, stake them, pay out to a pool, use pool for uplift build projects. So like right now, well, I'll just show you guys. This is what we have right now. It's like 400,000 Aether. Sorry, let's do the whole window, entire screen. This one, boink. So yeah, we have 400,000. I'll claim that right now. That way we'll have it. Beep boop boop. Magic number. And there's about 900 wax in there, which of course I could trade back to Aether without too much trouble. Because like this is an interesting idea. So build elements, stake them, and pay out to a pool, use pool for uplift build projects. The thing is, like, I don't have enough right now to build the smallest one. But I suppose like I could take Aether. I don't know. This is maybe too complicated.
Corey, I think Gary just wants you to blow smoke.
Tech was already. Fair enough. Yeah, Tech said Corey, I'll donate some Aether too to help. So this is the thing, right? So we have whatever Aether this thing produces. And we take whatever donations we can get. When we can build anything, we build it, we stake it, and we go. One thing that I would recommend everyone take a look at, Ken's NFTs that he's putting out are 80 an hour for about $90. And when I tracked that, it looked like the ROI was about 80 days. So that's pretty good too, right? So then we would just need like another account. Because I'd want to separate it out, right? So like if we're going to use something to fund building, right? So if this is the engine that produces all the stuff, and then we put the other one in, like this is the build fund for magical build stuff that just goes to paying people to build things in the uplifts. And don't get me wrong, like I like this idea. I think this is really fun. I don't know, it's very interesting.
Well, there's another side to that too. If we had
Gary, don't be a dick.
If we had a pool,
for you.
if we had a pool that was making money, the other side to that is potentially some of these rewards could go out. Some of these rewards could go out to people once Swineland opens for actual land upgrades. That would be a possibility too. We could run some contests or some build contests or something like that, and supplement people. Although to be fair, like probably the majority of people who have land have probably figured out our planet enough to have like more than enough to be able to upgrade their land. So like there's that too, right?
So what was that? There was that account that I was taking taking donations I was taking donations of NFTs. Like that time that I was like, hey, if you have anyone to donate like a couple NFTs or whatever, we'll like give them all away when we hit like some number on Telegram. And it got slammed. Like it got slammed with NFTs. There was like $1,000 worth of NFTs there by the next day. It was just completely mental. And so maybe we could just use that, right? Like use that account to, whatever we manage to produce, I'll send it there. We'll stake it there. And then we'll have like an ongoing tracking thing. Anytime anyone donates any NFTs to that can stake, that will like everything, because everything that passes through that account is going back to the community one way or another, right? And that's not necessarily the case for KZGel because I'm still using it as like my workhorse account. It's interesting. Okay, Jimmy. Communal mining plots free for all areas to mine.
Actually, we have a similar idea on another land that we were working on, that like a communal idea, but I don't know about a communal mining plot. Like that's okay, but then
yeah, I think we're gonna solve that in a different way, Gary. I had a good conversation with Nick about that. As far as like people getting in game and like non-landowners getting in game and being able to work stuff, and I think Tuttle had some interesting ideas I just saw in the Slack today as well that would be good for that. All right. Well,
yeah. Do you want to do the roundup? Because we got to end this show in about a half an hour so that we can do our next show.
Shit. Okay. Well, okay. Everybody come back at 9, and we'll do gratitudes and all that kind of stuff, and we'll work out this idea because I think it's really interesting. Yeah. We'll at least test it out and see what we would need to do. Because I'd love to, like, if we could take some Aether donations, that'd be fantastic. Everything goes into that account. That is like the only stuff that ever comes out of that account is going to our community. That way, it's going to be easy for me to keep it under sort of control or whatever, like just organized. And then how we use that stuff, generally to serve builders in the uplift or something, or even to buy Minecraft accounts for people. Like we could get crazy, building that thing up.
I mean, really even a UBI for the next sale, we could use it for a UBI. I mean, however much we raise, put a certain percent of whatever we raise in there, and then instead of saying 25%, under market value, we just say, okay, this is how much we're going to charge, and like this is what we're going to take off at the top. We're going to sell that on the market, and then like there's your UBI, so everyone gets the same thing. I mean, we can play around with this, and I'm not saying we have to do that, but I'm saying like I like the idea. I like the idea of just like fucking with what the real world does and saying like, look, it could work. This is better.
Well, and that honestly, like that's the low key subtext. Like, don't tell anyone this is what we're actually doing of the whole uplift, right? Like, we want to figure out how to turn attention and playing into money for everyone. That's fuck it. It's weird. Anyway, all right, cool. All right, so that thing that we do with the weekly roundup.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Oh, by the way, like I think we're gonna add more people to the stream in the very next little bit. A friend of mine might start his own show, which will be cool, but we're not gonna say too much about that yet because he's
Who are you talking about? What's going on? What's happening?
Well, you'll find out sooner than I can't tell you, hon. I can't tell you yet. I'm sworn to secrecy. I am very sworn to secrecy. But it'd be cool. Like we can round these out. We've got some good stuff that's going on. So while you pull that up, I'll go over what's happening next week. Because I think we might just do an EOSIO weekly update for our next show, Corey, like for the 9:00 show. I think that deserves some attention because like our whole next week is going to be next couple weeks. We've got some cool stuff going on. So on Tuesday, tomorrow, we've got the person who won the Eden, chairship or whatever you call it, coming. On Wednesday, we're not quite sure. On Thursday, we're doing the weekly roundup, and we will be hosting some awesome people and talking about the EOSX hack and everything that happened. We're going to have John of Boyd. We're going to have Daniel Keys, who's the new CEO of EOS Nation. And there's a couple other people that I'm forgetting as well. I'll have to look that up. And then the week after, for the Crypto Writer thing, we're actually going to do an Eden OS thing. For Friday NFT game day, I've got a couple ideas. And it's going to be exciting because EOS is coming back alive again. EOSIO is coming back alive again, but more so EOS because. So I think that's what we should do at 9:00. Let's do a mini EOSIO unprepared.
I like it. Update. No, it's good. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in the space. We can even do like a macro market update too, because some people experience the dips as something other than very exciting. I love this being in my second cycle now, because like I remember when dips were like, oh my god, and I still like generally did the right thing, right? Hodled, bought more, yada yada, but it was stressful, and like Michelle's going through that. This time because she actually cares this time and is actually paying attention and is like, what is going on? I'm like, this is normal, like it should go down more. And she's like, are you crazy person? Like, maybe. Anyway, uplift Minecraft spots. There's a lot of really good ideas. I think that the more we talk about this, the better I like it. Anyway, so let's go to this thing. We did this the chicken concoction. We did that chicken concoction this week. I don't know if you guys heard about that. It was a whole thing. We did it. The maps are incredible. Expect to see the maps in your back office doing cool things that will be useful for players and landowners soon.
I get pissy when other people get pissy in the Telegram channels, but I'll tell you though, there's one thing that that will make me pissy, and that's if the next auction doesn't have those maps, because those maps were freaking awesome.
Oh, they're essential, right? And so and
that's a game changer, right?
Yeah, for real. Like and the way, you know, for the gratitude map, which is going to be our next kind of sales cycle, right? I'm really, really excited about the seed or Genesis NFTs that we're going to be doing to fund the rewards pool for those, because those will be massive, and I'm really, really excited about those. I think those are going to do really well, and people are going to want them a lot. And the value proposition is much simpler. Anyway, so that's going to be fun. But then I'm also launching the super badass whitelist of actual human beings who love the uplift. This month we're going to start building that. You're going to want to make sure you're on that list, because we are going to do like a random pack sale of Rail and Land. Not 100% sure what the percentage will be, but it'll be like random Rail and random Land, and you'll get a steep discount, because I want those to just sell out. Like, just grab those, and then we'll let that sit. People can get in there, figure out what they have, and the maps will be working, so you'll be able to see what you own, you know, in your back office. And then we'll do auctions after that, because like, how many more, you know, people are going to want to buy land around the communities that are in there, and there's, you know, it's basically full now, right? So there's a lot of really cool products people are going to want to be around, but they're also going to be, you know, wanting to bid on land that they already have randomly distributed all over the place, right? So like, I think the auctions will have a really good shot of selling out as well. So I think that's going to be super fun. Anyone who watches this show all the time, I need to get the forum set out, but I think like that's probably going to be the easiest. We'll probably post the forum for it on this show, and in the, you know what I mean. And if you are here live with us, like, you're, you know, actual humans, you apparently don't hate the uplift until you're on the list. What do you think, Jimmy?
Yeah, I think I like that idea. I'm kind of lost in thought here, because I was actually thinking about something. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work. Never mind.
Good talk. Okay.
No,
cool.
I was wondering if, like, yeah, I don't think it works. Never mind.
Good talk. Okay, cool. Well, we got through one. We're screwed. Monday we had June on from that place, these stuff, bitcash.org.
Yeah.
I like that guy. I think they're going to do some really interesting things. Do you want to say anything about June?
Yeah, I mean, it was good, and what he's doing is like more cross chain, which I think is really good, and it's a DEX, and it was interesting because I was listening to a podcast today by Naomi Brockwell. I'm not sure if you follow her, but she's a pretty interesting person to follow. She doesn't do that much content, but like, a lot of her content is really controversial, and she like is really big on. We should try to get her on the show. Actually, she's really big on you know, privacy and things like that, censorship resistance, and she was talking about Thor chain, and it reminded me a lot of what June and those guys are doing. Like it's a decentralized DEX essentially, and they have the nodes where you can trade out assets that are, you know, cross chain. So definitely check out what Bitcash is doing, because I don't know that much about Thorchain, but Bitcash, to me, after I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, we just interviewed someone that's doing something similar. So I think that's going to be like maybe the next wave through. And like, here's the thing, right? Like, we are onto our own islands essentially, right? I mean, there's something like P network tokens where you can, you know, change them, or wrap tokens that you can play on other networks. But one thing that doesn't really exist in DEX format is that you can't actually go in and exchange Ethereum for EOS, or you can't go in and exchange EOS for Wax. In some senses, it's kind of difficult, right? So I think, like, keep an eye on Bitcash and what those guys are doing, and support them if you can, because I think it's going to be really cool what they pull off. So, Chicken Caw Land and Rail sale update with Greg, Russ, Jen, and I believe Sue. That was fun for me. I liked seeing the old school people on the channel, just talking about, you know, things, and it was like really fun because they're, you know, Minecraft builders. They're the Chicken Caw crew. They're kind of a little bit new to crypto, and it showcased like what we've been open for, what, like 2 months, 3 months maybe, like, and they've been, you know, into crypto maybe about that long or a little bit longer, but it showcased to me like if the desire is there, how quickly you can learn. Because they were actually teaching each other about like little crypto things, while teaching the masses about like Minecraft, and it was a really fun episode, and you should definitely tune in and watch it. I quite liked it.
Yeah, I agree. Those people are just fantastic. So TikTok on a Tuesday, you had Nick on.
Yes, I had Nick on, and it was pretty fun because like our guest wasn't there, and you get tied up. And I love Nick, man, because he's like a little puppy dog. Like Nick is like, he's kind of like, you ever watch that like movie called Gremlins, where you have like Gizmo and then they feed them after midnight? Like that's like kind of Nick. Like 90% of the time he's like Gizmo, but like once in a while somebody slips him like a little breadcrumb after 12 o'clock, and like he just gets like super angry. So 90% of the time in the show he was really happy, and 10% of the time, he was telling people where to go if they're gonna mess with him and his family. So I like that about him, right? Like it was great.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And really, like when he feels like his friends are being threatened in any way, that's when Nick flips the switch. So it comes from a good place. Totally.
And I think there's a lot of people in here that are like that, and I like being a part of this group.
Yeah,
because of
Curtis. Prospectors, the OG EOS wax bridge. That's totally true. I really bought some PGL recently, which should be interesting. Yeah, Tech was just saying there's slippage on the EOS wax exchange, which makes it impractical on Alcor. I'm actually there right now. Yeah, there's almost no liquidity there, so we would have to fund that, which would be good. But I do agree. So, and people are asking about mobs in Chicken Cod. There is none right now, and they're like asking if there can be mobs in specific areas and others not. So that's like an ongoing conversation. I think, and we'll have to see. Are there mobs in London?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, right.
There are.
Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of pressure. Because we've been thinking about this a lot, and again, we reserve the right to have better ideas about all this. It's ongoing. Welcome to the alpha. So if two survival worlds have different rules, as an example, Chicken Cot has no, mobs, and London has them. They can never trade back and forth, between them, right? Because it would be really, really easy for London to flood the market in Chicken Con back and forward or whatever, right? So I think where we're kind of leaning is that in order for interworld trade to occur, the rule set would have to be identical. And again, like, I'm not super worried about that. We had a long conversation about it this weekend. I think the economies are going to be fleshed out enough for each world that it's probably not going to be like essential to have those markets. And when and if it does become essential, I think there's going to be enough pressure that we figure it out. That's kind of where I'm leaning on all that stuff right now, but we'll see. Yeah, so check this out. Some people are very conservative with resources in survival right now. I was curious if a total different resource world where people went to mine grief would be implemented. Nick and I talked about that for an hour and a half today. Yesterday. I'm not going to talk about it right now because I want to make sure we flesh it out first. But I think it's very, very likely that we will have a very, very hard map that will run in seasons that will be PvP insanity for anyone who wants to go there, landowners or not, to go and mine whatever they can mine and try to get out. Will be a thing.
I mean, Boomtown was a great idea. We're for prospectors, so why not?
Yeah, right. and like people really want that hyper gamified experience, and it doesn't really make sense for the metaverse, right? That's not what this, like, we're using Minecraft as our metaverse layer, right? So like doing that kind of thing, in the metaverse doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But there's a ton of that energy. So like, where can we send those people to produce value for themselves if they want to go? Like, we're talking about dropping you naked and afraid in the middle of nowhere, and you have to mine, fix stuff, not get killed by mobs, feed yourself, and then walk all the way to the center to get anything out at all, right? So I don't know. There's some fun ideas if we just want to be real pricks too. Like you could potentially
like you could potentially have people have to like donate to that ether pool you're talking about to get in, and you get dropped in the center with nothing. And if you die, if you want to get back in, you got to pay again, right? Like you know, I don't know, like that's actually probably really cruel. To
Zestra's point. So what would be the point of mining if you can't take those supplies to your mainland? That's the whole point of this, is that you would be able to, right? We don't want maps for imbalances really do a thing, bringing stuff to where it's really hard to do a thing. This would be where it is the hardest to do anything, right? So if whatever you can get from there, bringing that out will be infinitely harder than just mining it in London or wherever, right? So that's sort of why we would want that to be the case. And you could never bring anything in at all to this PvP thing, right? Like you're going to go there and be, you know, have to figure out how to survive.
You get 1 hour of daylight a day instead of 3.
For something stupid, right? Like, yeah. Can you imagine? Oh my God, that'd be terrible. Yeah. So, and again, we're toying around.
Gary's not right. Like, there will be like hardcore Minecrafters that will come out of there. I
think you're right. And we were talking about doing like seasons, right? So, like maybe a month, maybe 3 months, and whatever you can get out of there, that's fantastic. And then we just rinse, repeat the map, right? So, like whatever you build. You know, you just get to, you know, bring that stuff out or whatever, right?
I don't know the answer to this. Actually, is it like is so? No. I have a question. Like, if you go into the Nether, so
no daylight, Gary, you're evil. Sorry, infinite night, Zestra. Sorry,
well, that's why I said 1 hour, right?
So
I thought about that first, but like, So, but here's the question, right? Like, if you go into the Nether, right? Like, Nether is not owned. So, can you mine the Nether wherever you want, or like is it on lockdown too, essentially? Because like essentially the world is on lockdown, right? Like you can't do very much. I think you can like fish, you can collect berries. No, like on like wherever you want in the world. Like you can collect berries. It doesn't have to be your land for you to collect berries.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I think you can fish on other people's land as well.
Okay.
Like you can take some wheat and get a pig to follow you all the way home, and like 9 times out of 10 they fucking get lost, and it takes you like 3 hours and you get fucking nothing.
Well, I had a long conversation about people stealing villagers.
Yeah, and like in where I am, like there's a brick like. People fucking stole my animals, man. I'm sorry, but like it was a good lesson learned, right? And so I figured out a way now because I was walking around somebody else's plot and I was like, oh, that's a smart idea. And then I was like, but I don't like that. Aesthetically, it's really ugly. So I figured out a new way to like prevent people from stealing my villagers that like still looks aesthetically nice from the outside, but not so much from the inside. But I mean, nobody goes in the pig pen anyway. So, but yeah, like, please don't steal people's freaking villagers, man. Like you can do it, but like, and protect yourselves, right? Like if you want to know how to protect yourself, DM me and I'll give you a really cheap, quick hack on how people can't just come into your pens and steal your animals, right? But like don't do that, like, because if I see you do that, like
I mean, technically that's griefing, right? I mean, and there's a pretty firm no griefing rule in the metaverse. You know, we're gonna build a place where you can literally do anything you want.
This is awesome. We totally need to like.
We totally don't. That's terrible. Yeah. So yeah, until lava falls in your head. So thanks for that. I do want to, like, because there are still some places, because it's technically no PvP anywhere, right? Like, read the spirit of that rule. People that have griefed have been permanently banned. Let me say that again really slowly. If you grief anywhere in non-PvP normal metaverse worlds, you will be warned one time, and then you will be banned permanently. And no, we're not going to entertain, oh my God, it was my kids, can I please come back? Because people are basically lying about that, right? So, you know, just like honor that, or there will be permanent consequences. Your NFTs will still kick out whatever your NFTs are supposed to kick out, fine, right? But you won't actually be able to get into the game to do anything about it. That's something we're taking pretty seriously. So, anyways, we were doing a weekly roundup.
Oh yeah, sorry, we got time.
But the sort of that like, Nick is going to be so excited that there's people that are excited about that. I think it's a good idea, right? So even if you don't own any land or whatever, people that get their hands on a passport, and those should be coming out relatively soon, should be able to get in and then do whatever they want to do there, right?
I don't know, but can you tell me where that is? Because I don't even know what that does, but I kind of want to try it out. I went to visit somebody today, and I jumped off an amazing haul platform into water, and that was amazing. So maybe blue wool underneath might be fun. I don't know.
Right.
So, hit me up. Let's try it out.
So to describe the term, Ian was asking what's grief. So basically, even in a non-PvP world, and the best example is we were holding gratitude service once, and some people came, and they, there's like an invisibility potion, and they turned themselves invisible and murdered us all. And then murdered us all again, because you can like throw potions at people, and they're like, instant death potions or whatever the fuck it was. And that's griefing, right? You can, apparently with lava buckets do damage in other, people's places or whatever. And we haven't seen that really, but that, is a thing that was possible. We actually turned down fire spread, basically like anything that is hurting another player, anywhere, in non-PvP worlds, and that's everywhere right now, is called griefing, right? If you're basically being a shithead, that's griefing. And we'll ban you for it, because this is too cool to put up with nonsense like that. Now, that like hyper aggressive, competitive energy is a thing we recognize exists, right? And so that's kind of why we want to have a place like, instead of doing this here where all the people are trying to build and do those things, right? Go over here where you're gonna get murdered.
Yeah,
well, Gary, anyone could Google it, right? So like, what are we gonna do? People asked, what it was, so I'm gonna. But in the future, Gary, to your point, I'll just say, don't be a dick.
And here's the thing, right? Like, I wander around adjacent plots like from my land, because I got a really small piece, and I may or may not steal other people's animals. However, the animals the animals that I steal, I work really hard to steal them, and I like carry seeds, or I carry wheat, and I lead them back to my plot. Right. But if you look at the map, there's a lot of plots that are undefined, right? When I walk by a world and I see a pen, I don't open the pen and take the animals. And like, so if I can open the pen and taking the animals, I don't know what I'm going to do, because like, I can't really do anything, but I'm definitely going to freaking call you out. Right. Like, I'm going to punch you in the game and get the message that says you can't hurt people here. And then I'm going to, I think that might be the case if your animals or your villagers are not penned in. Yeah. But at the same time, even if they are penned in, there are ways to protect yourself, right? Remember, only you can break blocks on your own land. If you're worried about it, just don't put a door. And every time you need to get in to see your animals, then you can get in. There's lots of ways. Be creative, right? Like don't leave anything for granted, because
we're gonna need like a villager restocking fund. Anyway, so we got to get through this, and then I got to take a little 5-minute break before the next show. So Jen's awesome show. She chatted with the Lips from R Bubble, and if I'm not mistaken, R Bubble they're the people that made the R calculator. You can go to rcalculator.com and it'll blow your effing mind. Quite frankly, carpet on the corner. That's interesting. So yeah, that happened. Tech Talk on a Tuesday, part 2.
Yeah, so I guess maybe the timing was wrong, and we actually did do the episode that Nick showed up to an hour later, and that was actually super long, but it was really fun. And we were supposed to learn about the ins and outs and the NFTs, but for the most part, we just essentially gave him a crash course on the Uplift world, and we walked around Chicken Call. We did some things, and like, he was super into the potential and the possibility, and we basically talked about like what it would be like to create your own NFT gallery in Uplift, because there's a lot of people out there who are collecting these NFTs that want to display them. They want to put them on their walls, and that's something that Ted is really interested in. And if you don't like, it was really long, but Ted is like the ultimate like collector in a way, right? Like he was a day trader, and then he became a collector, and it cracks me up because that's how I met him. He came in and he basically decided to collect something that was impossible to collect, and he almost got there but didn't quite. And then, when he was almost there and he wasn't quite there, Blue just gifted him what he wanted because he had it in his own collection, and it was great. And now he's like, come over to the Uplift, and he wants to do this stuff. This is what we're about. And back to the griefing thing. This is why we don't like it, because Nick said it, Corey said it, I've said it, Gary said it, all of the people. we've all said it. The only reason we're here is because we love the community and we love how positive everyone is, and we want everyone to have that experience, right? And there's hardliners out there, like, you know, Corey, he's a bit of a hardliner. He's like, if you whine and complain to me that I didn't get something, that you didn't get something for free, I'm not going to fucking give it to anybody. And I 100% uphold and stand by that. And this is why I like your idea about like changing up the rules, changing up the games. It's not what you deserve, it's what you happen to be where something happens to be given out. And I think that's a really important thing to understand, right? You don't deserve to have your land destroyed. You don't deserve to get killed during a gratitude ceremony. But, you know, you don't deserve to get, you know, a free NFT necessarily that we decide to give to you. And if you got one, but somebody else got two and you're complaining because you want two too, then, you know, maybe just next time nobody's going to get one. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like once we have that super badass whitelist of actual humans and sentient robots who are nice, I will reserve the right to, if you like, there's a difference between complaining and constructive criticism.
Yeah, exactly.
And we love and cherish constructive criticism. Whining will get you kicked the fuck off that list.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and it's totally subjective. Like that until we figure out how to, like, because I don't actually like making these decisions. Just want to let everyone know that. I would much rather have this be part of a DAO. It's a very, very complicated thing to do. And Gary, when you say, oh, it's too complicated for me, Gary now runs the DAO, right? So he can handle all that stuff. You can send all your questions about our democracy to Gary. You know,
yes, because it is his job now.
It is. Yeah, exactly. So like it, you know, we're doing a lot of work to create a culture, right? And you know, the boundaries of that have been good so far, but as we grow, it's going to get harder and harder and harder. So like I want to have the ability to reward intensely, like perversely, the people that are helping us to develop this thing that is awesome and super positive and full of gratitude and win, and gleefully trim out the 1% of people who don't, you know, really fit in with that. It's a big internet. They can go anywhere, right? I hear crypto voxels is fun, right? And so that, like, I'd much rather grow a little bit slower, but build something that we absolutely categorically love, that is like a deep and abiding, important and fulfilling experience for the people that are part of it. Anyway, that's why I'm a bit of a hardliner, because it, you know, it's just a good idea.
And on the back of the hardliner, if you need to smile, then just go and watch this episode, because within the first 15 minutes, we play the cutest song of all time 3 times.
It's so good. Okay, we have to do the rest of this in 5 minutes, because I got to go to the bathroom before you do it.
Or we can be 10 minutes late, but yeah, let's do it in 5 minutes. But it was good. Come check out Sammy, and Sammy Snake and the Sammy Snake community. We actually got a tour of their demo area, essentially, and that was pretty awesome. The builds that they're doing is awesome. And basically they're giving shit away. Basically their idea is to like pay for, like, they are uplifters. they really are. Like, it's weird that we hadn't met them until now. So they're if you guys haven't seen this one yet, go watch it. Sammy is awesome. He's building an awesome community, and he would say he's not doing it. His community is doing it. He's just really cool. So the second coming, Chicken Cobb, final hour. Apparently you talked to EOS USA. Any super highlights? I might have had a little bit of sake, and I might have got bit out of all my lands. But I kind of figured I'm going to go on and I'm going to talk about it. I constructive criticism of other people stealing my lands, but it was fun. Like, watch it or like just jump and watch like 5 minutes, 3 random places, and you'll enjoy it. I promise.
Awesome.
Jen's awesome show with Michael USA. I think he's taking over the channel, man. Like,
I love that Jen is just talking to so many people all the time. It's such a great, it's perfect. Oh, by the way, did you see this? What the shit?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be 45 minutes or less, but this isn't happening. It's getting really bad.
No, dude, we're at 1,000 subscribers.
Oh, nice. Sweet. Oh, sorry. Huh. I was looking at where your mouse was, man.
Yeah, up here. Boop, boop. Oh, you can't really see it. Look at this. It's sort of like...
I was looking at where my mouse was. Sorry.
Nerd. We're going to have to do some kind of giveaway for that, so that's fun. Yeah, thank you guys. Like, the only reason we're at 1,000 subscribers is because you guys keep coming back and listen to us ramble.
So I do want to mention the Edge of Obscurity and Beyond, because Sean's really good. Sean actually does a trivia over in the Crypto Writer channel, and he gives a ton of like Finny coins away to everyone who watches it. And actually, this week he broke it up into 2 parts because it was just too damn long. But we had Joe on the show. You remember Joe, and that was super fun. So maybe you don't have to watch the whole thing, but that's something that I really enjoy doing, and it's kind of like the end of my week. NFT Game Day with Darren Cullen of London Graffiti Arts, which actually aired before that one. Again, Darren's awesome. He's an uplifter. You're going to see a lot of him and his designs and things like that. I would assume in the future. And now we got weekly roundup with Corey and Jimmy D, which we're on now.
That's us. So yeah, Jen actually interviewed Nick. Apparently, this posted 8 hours ago, which is awesome. And Jen and Russ and the rest of the crew tried to do the gratitude stuff yesterday morning, or was succeeded. I didn't watch it. I don't know if everybody.
Yeah, I quite actually enjoyed it because I think they did the gratitude ceremony on the volcano or by the volcano, which was really cool. Yeah,
that is cool because he had build rights over there. That's awesome.
Yeah, and so it was really interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you guys very much, Russ and Jen, for doing that. You guys are fantastic, and everybody else, because I know like the rest of the fam was trying to get in there to help out with that stuff too, because I couldn't make it yesterday morning. What's that?
Let's do 15 minutes. Let's say 9:10. We'll be back for.
We got 7. We got 7 minutes. I can make it back for that. Just people expect us to be on at 9. I kind of want to get as close to that as we can, if that's cool.
You do realize we're almost always 3 to 8 minutes late. Okay, we'll see you. We'll see you all again in 7 or 8 minutes.
Chop.